I'm Linda Elsegood, founder of the LDN Research Trust. It has been my honour to interview LDN researchers, prescribers, pharmacists and patients from around the world for many conditions. Thank you for joining us.
Today I'm joined by Chris from Scotland, who uses LDN for multiple sclerosis. Thank you for joining me, Chris. Could you tell us when you first noticed that there was something wrong with you?
I noticed there was something wrong with me when I was on holiday, and I was trekking through over a volcano, and then I just kind of froze. I couldn't move, and I had to get someone to help me back down. So then I pursued this and saw a hospital in Guatemala, but you can imagine there was a language barrier there. So then we flew home, and I went to the hospital, and after about 3 months of investigations and MRI scan, I then got diagnosed with it.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was that?
That was 9 years ago.
What other symptoms did you have by the time you found LDN?
Well, one of the major things was vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
Even just walking down the street, I felt like I was falling all the time.
Yeah. And
that was a big issue for me. So then I thought, right, I need to go home, because we were planning on doing a long trip for a year, but it only lasted 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went home to get investigated, but it was definitely the vertigo and the tiredness. And I don't think the heat helped me much either, which is a problem with MS.
And what about other things like pain and bladder and sleep?
Well, I didn't have those issues when I got diagnosed. I've never had a problem sleeping, and I've not really had any pain either.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day, I haven't had pain from it. I just feel annoyed more than anything else, because my walking isn't as good. Well, my walking was really bad about 2 years ago. It was really bad. I couldn't walk more than, 50 meters before I started LDN.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get an idea of what you were like before you started LDN. So walking was a big issue then, if you could only walk 50 meters.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big issue. I mean, also the concentration. I don't know if you've heard about brain fog.
Yeah.
As well. So I had that, and I've lost a lot of jobs as well. You know, well, I was a professional engineer, and I kind of just kept on losing jobs because of my performance, and I didn't actually know that it was MS. You know, and I did tell one employer that I had MS after I got diagnosed, and then there was a round of redundancies, and they just kind of put me in that box and made me redundant, because it's an easy thing for them to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it did impact on your life big time then. And if you,
yeah, it did. Yeah.
If you had to say at that point, before LDN, your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would it have been?
I would say it was a 5, because I did go through some pretty bad depression, because I felt useless, and I felt I didn't know where I was going to go with my life.
Yeah.
So, you know, I felt really depressed and all sorts, and I saw a psychologist as well because of it.
Did that help?
Yeah, it did help. Yeah, it did help, but yeah, it helped. But the psychologist got to a point with me where she said, look, there's nothing else that I can do for you, because you seem as though you're on a level ground. And I was, really. You know, I spoke to the psychologist, and we had long chats and everything. I went about 3 or 4 times to the hospital, and she did help, but there wasn't anything else she could do for me. It was all, you know, it was purely what I could do for myself.
Yes, I get that. So, how did you hear about LDN?
How did I hear about it? Well, the thing is, right, when I first got diagnosed with it, I was still working, but when I lost my job, my health kind of deteriorated a bit more, and I was doing a lot of reading on MS, and there was all sorts of things. There was vitamin D is a big one to take, and I read all about that, and I read about diatomaceous earth. Have you ever heard of that? There's some pretty strange things out there that you can read about, and you can read anything you want on the internet. That's the sad thing about it. And I found out about LDN on the internet, and there were all these people who'd had great benefits of taking it. So I thought, right, okay, I want some of this, but the NHS don't give it out on prescription.
Some of them do. It depends on your doctor. They can prescribe it, what they call off-label, on a named patient basis. But the prescribing
because I pay for it now, because I've found a compounding pharmacist, is it? Yeah.
We don't have compounding pharmacists in the UK. They have them abroad, but we have to get them from specials companies. Dixon's have their capsules made by a specials company, and they do the liquid themselves.
Yeah, well, that's the chemist that I use.
Okay.
Dixon's chemist in Rutherglen, Glasgow. So that's where I heard about it, and I got in contact with them, and they said, "Can you send us proof that you've got a problem?" And I sent them the proof that we've got MS, and then they started sending it through.
Yeah, they're actually a chemist, so that they fill the prescription. You would have got a prescription from a doctor that works.
Yes, that's right.
With them, So just so people know that you just didn't get it from the chemist, you did actually have to have a prescription first.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you first started, did you notice any side effects?
No, well, the thing is, I was doing a lot of reading, and I was seeing that a lot of people were having trouble sleeping, but for some reason I didn't. Because I kept it on a very low dose.
Yes.
A very low dose of LDN. And I was on a low dose for a good 6 months. I was taking 2 milligrams, is it? Something like that. You know, it's just a really small amount. And I just kept on doing that, and I didn't get the sleep problems. And I still haven't gotten sleep problems. I'm on about 3.5, and I'm not going any further than that, because I feel as though it's doing me good at that level, so I'm not going to go any further. I can take, it's said on the bottle that I can take up to 4.5 per day, but I just haven't seen the need for it, so I don't.
What would you say you've found improvements with the LDN? Is your vertigo any better, and fatigue?
Vertigo's a lot better. I mean, I've actually started going to the gym, swimming, you know, and I'm doing better and better all the time. So, yeah, the vertigo and the fatigue, fatigue does hit me still, but it was nowhere near as bad as what it was 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So, on that score of 1 to 10, the quality of life question, what would you say your quality of life is now since you've been on LDN?
What, in terms of the things that I can do?
Yes.
I'd say it wasn't up there, you know, it wasn't, you know, like, 10 out of 10. Because the thing is, the problem with the quality of life thing with me, it's not my health in terms of how far I can walk and the vertigo. I don't really have problems with that anymore, with the vertigo. It's the fact that I haven't got a job and the fact I can't drive. That's the thing. That's the quality of life that's stopping me.
But if you now have no vertigo and no chronic fatigue, that must have improved your quality of life quite a bit.
Yes, I would say I'd give that a mark of about 7. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But I'm trying to find a job, and that's the major thing that's getting on my head.
Yeah.
Because I can't drive and I live in a little town, you know, and there obviously aren't many jobs around here. It's like, ugh. It's kind of a bit.
Well, let's
That's the thing that's stopping me.
hope that you continue improving, and doing your swimming has got to help.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing your experience with us, Chris.
No problem.
Do you have LDN experience to share? If so, please email me, linda@ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing from you.